Hello and welcome to another video. So we are looking at Rowan's story as it has just been released, so we're covering them as we go, of course, and so far completing those other four hasn't been too bad, and Rowan should be next. This will be quite a long video as I am putting them all in one segment now, as I feel that is just the overall better way to handle making these videos, as making them all as one big video tends to be a lot easier. She really doesn't say much different in the opening scene, so it's really nothing special with Purgation. If you've seen one, you've pretty much seen all of the Purgation. I believe there is 12 chapters normally. I'm going to take that, which is a pretty standard ramp dragon deck. I will have the decks that I use in this video in the description below for you guys. Recommend unlimited decks because they are a lot easier to win with.
Hills and some sort of town below. This doesn't look familiar.
No, Rowan. Certainly doesn't look familiar.
Could be another world. Oh,
he's quick.
Where did everyone go? There's no one here.
When we dive through the gate, will we all be together in another world?
Yes, as long as nothing interferes. Let's go.
I don't have a good feeling about this. I'd like to search for the others, but
Nicola Dell.
You there? Can I ask you something? Are you from this world? From, here, I mean. Why are you coming so close to me? Answer my... Does he really not understand what I'm saying? If this is another world, then it's possible. Sorry, I was just lost in thought.
Oh.
Oh, his energy. It doesn't feel human at all.
Wow. Sorry. You want to fight with me, don't you?
Wait, you can understand me? What on earth are...
I just woke up, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to take it easy on you.
There's something strange about this man. More than Urias Formond or even her. If I don't act, new worlds and new foes won't cower me into submission. I've decided that much.
Rowan's got one of the more interesting character arcs when it comes to his development, I guess. Was always really scared of his power, and as he slowly becomes to get used to it, it's quite a bit more interesting. Especially his dragon form and half dragon forms are very interesting characteristics of him. Drop the Bahamut to keep the fervor, and we'll hold on to staircase. Of course, it had to be double fervor. Would have preferred a little bit more early game, but this should work fine. I've also got my Pinger deck, which does fairly well. That's not a bad start, Dragon Oracle. I also really love these backdrops. I really want them to be added into the standard rotation of decks that are used for the backdrops, but whether that happens or not in the future, we'll have to wait and see. Alrighty. Well, that's fun. Dealing with this board. Probably Dragon Summoners, because they're pretty effective. They got a nice stat line, they should soak up some of these fairly well. Okay. Alright, that shouldn't be too hard to take care of. Just need to make sure that this will work out in my favor. We'll get rid of that. Can I afford to leave this up? I think so. I mean, it probably will Evo though next turn, so we may as well deal with it. I really have to make these decisions earlier. Once we do get to turn 7 though, we should be right, as it will be fairly easy to take them on after that. Most of the opponent's decks in the story matches are usually just dealing with their early game. Once you can do that and secure it, you're usually fine. Then it's just a matter of win more, as they don't tend to run many other ways to deal with things, so it's usually pretty fine. So once we've cleared this out, turn 7, into Lucifer should be pretty safe. That'll get us healed back up, deal with whatever they play. And from there, they're basically top decking, which for us is pretty ideal. And we don't really have much use for much else.
Viking is so cruel.
That's what makes these games fairly easy. It's pretty rare that you can lose these games now, and most of these decks aren't too bad to make. You can win most of these games with just pretty standard aggro decks. It just will take a little bit longer than some other decks. Hopefully I'll have some budget decks for you guys reasonably soon. I want to work on this kind of video of 3 or 4 budget decks in a row. If I go for another Lucifer, Caster's not really going to be dealt with very effectively, but Sybil's really not that much good to me either, so we might just go for the Lucifer Suckle Hill and use the Evo to really get rid of this. It's not like we don't have time, so we may as well do it. We'll remove these pretty easily. There we go. Alright, so they're going for the Evo. I mean, that's pretty good for us because it gives us a lot of draw power here. This deck also hasn't been changed since Zoe and stuff were introduced, so it's really a outdated deck for that sense, so most of these are older cards. And this is why we need that extra Evo point there, because this Lucifer is just way better with the Evo. Especially since we're pretty much at max health now. So we can set up lethal next turn with Genesis. Provided they can't remove this or set up a ward. Which it looks like they can't, so this will be our game. More than enough damage. We would have even had the extra 4 if we needed it, so not bad at all. That's actually a total of 20 for that turn, really, if we had have had that extra.
What on earth are...
Dragon's also one of the few crafts that I haven't maxed out yet when it comes to level and wins, as I don't play much Dragon. Where'd you come from? Okay.
I've never seen armor like yours before.
I don't know if you'll believe this, but I'm from another world. At least I think that's what's going on.
So then why are you fighting me? There isn't any reason.
It seemed like you were ready for combat. I raised my spear because I thought I'd be in danger if I didn't.
I see. I give off that vibe sometimes.
Does that mean you didn't intend to fight?
I don't particularly want to fight at all. Sorry if I gave you the wrong idea.
No, I'm the one who caused this. I should be the one apologizing.
That's pretty ironic, though. Just yeah, let's start a battle, guys. Let's go.
I'm going somewhere else. Well, anyway.
What an odd man. His strength is overwhelming. The weight of his blows leaves Urias in the dust. And on top of that...
That is pretty interesting, like, considering Urias actually fought him pretty well, although I wouldn't consider him being at full strength.
He manages to channel that inhuman power of his into a precise technique. He's fighting with everything he's got, and yet he's accurate. This really is another world, another dimension. Makes sense that I'd meet someone like that man here. I have to look for everyone else. This world looks like it might be a tricky place to navigate. Those of us with the same goal need to stick together. I'm going into town. There has to be some sort of information there. I've only gotten a taste of this new world, but I have to continue on. Rachel, Natalie, wait for me.
I mean, at this point, don't you give up on your past? Like, what can you do? You've literally abandoned your whole world to go after these keepers, and killing them or defeating them doesn't guarantee anything. So, I mean, is there really any point?
This town is beautiful. It might even be wealthier than our own kingdom.
At this point, they're fighting for revenge.
There are canals all over.
Rowan is...
Oh, Eris, what are you doing here?
Priestess, I mean, Eris. It's good to see you're all right.
Yes, and it comes as a relief to see you well. For... No, you're injured, aren't you?
This? It's nothing, really.
But all the same...
I beg your pardon. Might those wounds be the result of battling with a rather tall man?
As
Yeah.
they are. Might I ask your name?
He is Marlon Median. We have only just met, but I believe him to be a trustworthy person.
Oh, I don't
I
know
don't
whether I
know.
can be trusted, but my name is Marlon Median. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Rowan Dragspear. How did you know what happened to me?
I saw you coming down from that hill. And well, I'm additionally acquainted with a rough character who calls that hill his home. So, in brief, please accept my sincere apologies.
No, if anything, I should be the one saying sorry. If I hadn't gone for my spear, he wouldn't have struck me.
You are a noble soul indeed. Please allow me to express my apologies again. Next time I see him, I'll be sure to chide him. Ah, yes, you two surely have some catching up to do, so I'll excuse myself here. If you have any issues, I should be close by. Well,
thank you.
Interesting. The more I learn about Malin, the weirder his character developments are.
You're actually the first one I've seen.
I suspected we have been scattered, and it seems that was the case.
What are you planning to do from here on?
I intend to act together with Malin. And you, Rowan?
I'm going to look around this land some more. I might be able to find the others, and anyway, there's a lot I don't understand.
I see. It would be my pleasure to help you in any way necessary.
No thanks. I can handle things alone.
Also, I wonder how he got into this town. Like, do the guards just go, "Hey, yeah, sure, man, you look like a big guy, let's just come in"?
But that was a coincidence. A miracle. If I were to lose control one more time, I could end up hurting everyone else. As long as there's that chance, I'm going to keep whatever distance I can.
Nah, what it was.
Isabel, I could never. But do I feel this way out of
Very well. But Rowan, perhaps it is arrogant of me, but I hope that the others and they and I.
Eris still doesn't believe her to be a good person.
Bring them back here to you.
Thank you. Please go well.
Thanks. You take care too.
Who have we got actually left to do?
Once again.
This will be 5. That'll be
I know
6.
the others and I will meet again.
So there's one more character. I'm just trying to work out which characters are left. Based on what we've covered so far, we only have Sword, I think. Don't think we've had Sword yet. So that's going to definitely be one.
Looking around again, this place
Yeah, so it would probably go Sword, Eris, and then Portal for the final.
with the sound of running water. I can see how a land with this much water would be so advanced. Is that a fountain? I've never seen one that big before.
Oh, are you a traveler?
Something like that. You?
I'm a member of the Order of Blade Rights. But if you're a traveler, that can't mean much to you, can it? Sorry.
An order? So you've got them here in this land, too?
I bet they're a bit different from what you're imagining. We're not some kingdom's military unit.
Oh, I see.
If you'd like, I can explain more over there. One of our roles as the Order of Blade Rights is to guide travelers.
You seem to be on duty. Are you sure that's okay?
Sure. I'm just here on standby. I can talk until I get my next orders.
That's good to hear.
Well then, this is the land of Isunia, home of shimmering dew and guilds.
Guilds? As in merchants' unions?
No, we use that word for all kinds of people here. Not just for merchants, but for knights and mages too. We call them all guilds. These guilds keep each other in check, and they help each other out. Well, once in a while. Anyway, when things are going smooth, the guilds rule over Isunia. We don't have a
Interesting.
any of that stuff here. So instead of obeying the state, we follow our own sense of justice.
Like, obviously this is all basic information we've obtained over the course of the story so far, but it's still interesting that their whole setup is more diplomatic. Or balance, I guess.
That's what the Order of Blade Rights is all about.
Oh, so you mean you're a guild of justice in a land without a king?
Yes.
Is that so strange? You look like you're from some order of knights or another. Where do you come from?
The obligatory slime fight that we have every time.
We didn't get any orders to hunt, but we've got to do something. Stand back! Those things will do a real number on you.
No, I'll join the fray. 2 stronger than 1.
Okay then, I'll take the help.
Ready when you are.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no point fighting alone. At least they're not, like, super dumb about it. It's like, yeah, let's just kill this thing. Quicker it's done, sooner they can get back to life. Alright. Slime fight. Bring it on.
Leave it to me.
These things are always fun. Alright, we don't need those. We'll hold on to staircase. Dragon Oracle's a good start. This is just such an old school dragon deck. Like, I'm not running a lot of modern cards in this. It's definitely a lot of the older sets. Alright, another Dragon Oracle means we should be able to ramp even further. Filled out that turn pretty nicely. Probably straight into a Sybil, as that will give us the heal at least, and that. Oh, sorry, no, it won't give us the heal or the ramp, will it? Because it's an ability based on Overload. But that's fine. As Fanfare, sorry, does give us a play point orb, so I mean that's a bonus. Although, 5th turn or later. That's right. Sorry, it's been a long time since I played Sybil. That's why I've completely blanked on it, so I definitely should have went for the Draconic, I think. Draconic probably would have had favour, but now Sybil's fine, so we may as well use it. This will buy us some time. Like, I mean, they're about to reach turn 5, we've just reached turn 5, our next turn 6 will have 10 play points. Like, you can't ask for a much better ramp. I mean, we could have been there with Draconic, but it should still have been pretty respectable. That thing is actually more annoying than I expected it to be. Let's just remove this board and pass. I'll take that as an acceptable turn. Dragon and Blood cards. There we go. And what a nice turn to have.
Fighting is so crude. Fighting is so you mustn't.
I mean, this isn't going to do much for their face damage because they're just going to heal. But it does at least set us up with a 4-4, it clears their board, and it was a pretty okay turn. Especially since we're going to draw 3 followers next turn. Alright, Venom Fang Medusa. It's definitely going to warrant a removal. I'm kind of hoping I can get Lucifer, but we'll have to wait and see. No Lucifer, okay. Start by getting rid of that. We might go straight for the Israfil, just because it does give us the heal, and we can remove an entire board with pretty much no problem. Plus, I mean, it sets up a lethal next turn with Genesis Dragon. But of course they're going to block that out, so that's alright. Salamander is pretty good, especially with a blazing. This just gets us the most damage we can without too much issue. Wow, this deck actually packed some wards. That's respectable, I guess. And they're going to go for the heal off the Snake Priestess. Okay. So, I don't really have many options. Alright, that's enough for lethal. I was trying to work out how I could do this, and luckily that worked out just right with that draw. Once you applied the 2 damage from that, and then the 2 damage, it worked out pretty well.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah. Yeah, let's end this.
Looks like things are under control.
Maybe they are, but still.
Huh?
Oh, what order were you from again? You're a real powerhouse.
Don't get carried away. My skills aren't anything worth bragging about.
What do you mean? I knew you were really something, holding that giant spear with just one hand. But wow, it's got an arc, and you made it zip through the air like nothing. I've never seen anything like that. Where'd you learn from?
I wasn't lucky enough to have a mentor. I'm just doing things the Royal Army's way. Well, I've probably gotten pretty far away from protocol by now, though.
Whoa, you don't say. You must have fought some wild opponents until now.
You're probably right.
I gotta show you to the other guild members. Oh, you should come to our...
We've been commanded to assemble. Back to the barracks.
What? Seriously?
Sorry for getting in your way. I'm gonna take off.
You're not in anyone's way. Our barracks are just a little way away. You should swing by.
All right then.
Interesting. Rowan was the one person I could see fighting with the Blade Rights.
Pretty out there. See ya.
Who's he?
He's a powerhouse. No sooner does he start swinging that spear of his than...
Then what?
What a helpful person. The Order of Blade Rights. Guilds. He said that there was a mages guild. There's a chance she could be there. No, not yet. I should look around anyhow. Maybe I can find some clues about where everyone is. Or some...
So, nostalgia is our next point. Is this a battle? I'm not sure. I can't remember if number 5 was a battle or not most of the time, because they follow a pretty set structure for battles and non-battles. It looks like this is just story.
Magus Covenants are there. And you know where Escamali is, don't you?
They're up on that hill.
Yep, that's it. As for Nikolai and Counter Solari, I haven't the faintest. Sorry, but that's all I can tell you.
That's more than enough.
Glad to be of help. You need anything else, just holler.
This isn't getting me any closer to the others. I hope everyone's okay. All the information I got was about this land. Well, I suppose that works, and it's Isunia. A land governed by 5 guilds. It feels unnatural to have 5 in the place of a king or a queen. But it looks like the people are enjoying life, so maybe there's something to it.
Oh no. The dooming child of prophecies come back to haunt us.
Whoa there!
Oh, sorry, mister.
I get a feeling like she's going to be the most antagonist type character out of all of this. Like, oh, here's a happy child. She connects everyone. She's also terribly evil. Oh.
No problem. Are you
No,
okay?
that won't be any fun.
What about you?
Yeah, don't worry.
You're big. Big like Nikola and that other guy.
Nikola? The other guy?
Nikola's really big and strong. And the other guy was strong too. But he disappeared.
Oh yeah? Where are your parents?
Somewhere. They're not here now though. I'm lost.
You're lost.
Oh god.
Oh no.
No, but it's fine. I know all about this place. That street goes to the plaza, and if you climb up that wall, Escamali's there. And that's the way to the Order of Blade Rights.
Oh, she seems to have a great sense of the terrain. It might be worth asking where everyone's gone. Do you have a second? I'm actually on a search right now. So, how about it? Do you know anything?
I don't know, but I think I saw Urias.
Really?
Yeah, he was really big and had fancy clothes and a beard and a mustache.
Oh, that's one of my favorite little descriptions.
Saved you? Is he capable of that sort of thing? It sounds pretty far-fetched. Could you tell me where he was?
Sure, over that way.
Thanks. That's a real help. It's not safe for kids to wander around alone. We should really track down your...
I've been looking for you all over. Get yourself home this instant.
Looks like there won't be any need for that.
I'm so sorry. I hope this little lady...
No, not at all. If anything, she's been helping me.
She doesn't have anything to worry about.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Oh lord. Her character's just a little annoying, to be fair.
Start feeling homesick now. Just go where that little girl said Urias went.
Alright, number 6. So this should be about halfway. It's just going to come down to how quickly we can smash through these. I was debating on whether I want to switch decks, but usually I'll just pump through this until I hit a wall. And if I can beat the whole thing with it, usually I'll do it.
Huh? That sound. It's coming from over there.
Oh, where? I don't know. Let's find it.
That
Oh,
guy was
again.
insane, though. If I were to try bringing him down, I'd have to activate and push as hard as I could go.
So it really does show how strong Urias was.
Huh? Oh, it's you from earlier.
Did something happen? You're looking pretty rough.
This crazy mountain of a man came looking for a fight. I thought I'd knock him clean out, but, well, it ended in a draw. So, everything's fine.
For you to talk about someone like that, he'd have to be...
Urias Formond is what he called himself.
Is that right? It's just like that girl said. He's around here somewhere.
So, you, him, and even Luna came from another world?
Yeah, Luna.
Gives you that idea?
You all seem like you're suffering. Luna's a pitiable little thing, and Urias Formon seems to have issues of his own. You all seem sort of similar. Am I wrong?
So I seem like I'm in a lot of pain, huh? You might be right there. I always feel like I should keep my distance from people. Even the ones I call comrades. I said that I'd search for them, and yet I haven't done anything. So I'm afraid that when I meet everyone again, I'll go wild.
It's power, isn't it? Your own power is making you suffer. You're just like Luna.
How could you tell?
Something tipped me off when you were fighting.
I must really seem like I'm suffering during battle.
What's your name? I'm Nicola Adele.
Rowan. Rowan Dragspear.
Rowan.
Your power doesn't seem to be causing you any pain. It's like you're in perfect control.
There's not that much to it. You want me to show you how it's done? I'm not the best, but I don't like suffering.
My power is different, though. It's not power. It's a curse in the real sense of the word.
So it's some sort of spell. Well, I don't think that changes much, though.
What do I do then?
It's hard to put into words. This should be the fastest way to show you. Do you mind?
No, not at all.
Last time, our fight got a little intense. I'm not sure if this will make things better or worse. Still, sorry about that.
No, it was my fault. I'm going to take away all the knowledge I can from this fight.
Alright, that's gonna make things a little better, I think. Honestly, Rowan does get a lot better fighting this guy. It just makes so much improvement. We'll drop all of those and aim for early game. That's okay. If Dragonite gets killed, I can take Fervor straight away. If I could get a better card as a 2-drop, I would be even happier, but sometimes I am just not that lucky. Alright, come on. Ah, there we go. Well, I just have to throw the Dragon Summoner. That's what she's good for. She's good at hearing Dragon's Roar, and that's about it. Alright, this is fine. Alright, early pressure, since we don't really have anything else to play. Not really useful. Not yet, anyway. Alright, let's do this in a effective manner, I think. Mummy. You don't see that card every day, that's for sure.
You follow behind.
Mr. Dragon. Sorry. I've got to take a break.
Alright, I'm willing to accept that little bit of damage just in favor of getting our ramp up.
This one will do really shy.
Since we can pretty much take advantage of Suckwill into Bahamut to clear most of this out. That or I could actually take a different route and just go full on ramp. I think we'll take the Suckwill into Bahamut for now.
Fighting is so cruel.
Be gone.
That way I can just kill off this 5-3. Bahamut will come back to my hand, and we'll just weaken their board state. That's really all there is to it with this deck. Just, you know, develop your board continuously, stop them from doing much until you can just drop big threats. Plus, ramping obviously gets you ahead very quickly, so always taking advantage of that is a good thing. Okay, so outside of dance, I don't really have a good way to deal with this. That's a little frustrating. Luckily we don't really need to worry too much because we can still use all our play points effectively, which is really what we wanted. Plus now we can just go Genesis, Bahamut, Sybil, which any kind of way we want without any issue. Okay, Fickle Resurrector.
They're my adorable playthings.
It's kind of annoying, but it's not too much of an issue.
Sorry. I've got to take a break.
And I think we just wipe this. We'll start from scratch.
Wasn't that fun?
Well, more like we start with an advantage, but that's fine too. So Death Rape Life, that gives them the Fickle. Kinda useless for them right now. Because they've got 2, we actually need to deal with 1. So we'll use the Israfil. Perfect. This should get us the damage we need to go for lethal next turn. And set us up nicely. Really not much of a challenge. I mean, like I said though, this deck's quite legendary heavy, so it's definitely not a cheap one, so unless you're already unlimited or a long-term player, this deck's probably not going to be the most effective for you. I definitely recommend something more speedy. Maybe an aggro or PDK could do fairly well. It just might take a little bit more effort to really get through the games. But if you just follow a standard ramp into big follower strategy, that could work quite well for you as well. Especially since there are plenty of big gold cards, you don't have to use a lot of legendaries.
The way you fight, you must really be suffering. It's only natural to suffer when you won't let yourself be who you really are.
It's like there's another Rowan inside of me. I managed to control myself once.
Yeah? Well, if that's how it is, quit holding it all in. First, let out just a little bit. A little more. And then a little more. Don't force yourself to hold back. And then...
Oh, wow.
Stop.
You just suddenly stop. In the heat of the action.
It's because you hold everything in that you suffer. Think release and control.
Release and control.
It's not easy, and I can't do it perfectly either. When I'm sleepy, it's easy to get sloppy, but this should make things better than they are now.
Don't hold everything in. Release just enough. That won't be easy. But thank you.
Jeez, he just collapses.
Sorry about that. You alright? I think I might have overdone it.
No, I feel like I might have gotten the hang of it. Thanks to you. Thanks, Nicola. You really helped me.
Just collapses.
Nothing. I might have given you an earful, but, well... Anyway, I hope things go well for you.
Rowan just collapsing, you know, that's the way to go. Oh, love. Now this is a little more interesting. Release and control was one title, but love is a whole nother one.
I'm sorry. I don't have the right. I don't have the right to stand in front of you.
He did have a pretty cute wife, to be fair.
If you yourself say that, then I'm sure it's true.
I'm sorry.
There's something that's been on my mind for a long time. You always say that you'll protect us, and you say that you'll protect the crown. You've always lived by that creed, haven't you? It's your reason for living.
Protecting you and Natalie. Protecting the crown. I always considered those my missions.
And now they've fallen apart, haven't they? That's why you're so lost. Why you don't know what to do.
Go ahead and laugh. I know how pathetic I am. My family, the crown, and my friends. All of it.
No. I don't care what anyone else in the world thinks about you. I don't think that you're pathetic. If you can't be a shield right now, then you don't need to protect anyone. Not me, not Natalie, and not the crown. You've always done everything you could do. More than anyone else. You've been there on the front lines, and more than anyone else, you've gotten injured. So it's fine. It's fine for you to feel lost. But that said, there is one person you have to remember to protect. And that's yourself, Rowan. Protect yourself from the sadness and the pain.
Because that sounds mentally healthy.
Someday you're going to come home. There's no question about that. So until that day, protect yourself. Don't let the sadness and the pain beat you. For your own sake, go on living, Rowan.
Rowan's just like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
That dream really takes me back. Ever since that day, we've been apart. I've been lost and alone.
You are here as well, I see.
You! Urias Formond!
You are strong enough, but it is as if you have been torn apart. Who did this to you?
Nicola Adele.
Oh, that man! What a remarkable character. His work is evident in your present condition.
He's just the same as ever. Wild, astute, and apparently not interested in anything other than fighting. Regardless, are you going to fight with me? That's just the sort of beast you are.
What enjoyment can be found in chasing after injured prey? I have no interest in such plebeian pursuits.
I assumed he'd just be recklessly throwing punches, but here he is talking logically. He's really in control of himself.
But
He always has been. He's like, he just wants to fight strong people most of the time.
now able to control your draconic power, but yet you simply stifle it. What point is there in this?
You're telling me to use it?
Of course. What point can there be in unused power?
I know that much. Nothing will come from fear. That's why
This is
Oh, here we go.
unrefined, but there is a sense of hunger. We must fight once your wounds have healed. Your eyes are different from before, Rowan Dragspear. Do I have this world to thank for your change?
That could be. Maybe I changed, or maybe something changed me. I don't know yet.
That is well enough. First the woman who commands magic, and then you. You have each had some amusing encounters.
Woman who commands...
I saw her at the Magus Covenant. She was together with a pleasant young woman. Rowan Dragspear, you must prepare yourself. Your spear play, your draconic power, and above all else, your thirst for victory.
Nicola Adele, Urias Formond. It's like they're trying to say the same thing in different words. Don't just hold it in. Release it. Can I... Is that something I can do? No. I decided I wouldn't let fear get the better of me. For my family.
Which means don't fear your power, right?
For your own sake. Go on living, Rowan. That's what I need to ask you.
Rachel, why am I only remembering what you said now? I dreamt of you. Am I homesick? Or is it something else?
Unshackled. See, this is where things can be more interesting. An unshackled dragon.
Before we all meet up, before we all join forces again, I need to take a good long look at myself. I should do what they said, I know that much. And yet something doesn't feel right. Something's not quite there yet.
Oh, here we go.
Who's there? Are you hurt? What in the hell's...
The false sun shall not rise.
Now he's dead. Yeah, see, these are the Keeper guys, but they also look like Blade Right people, so this is what's super confusing to me. It's like the Blade Rights were taken over by the Keepers.
Did you just kill him?
So I can't wait to see where that goes.
You're wearing the armor of the Order of
Yeah,
Blade
see?
Rights. Why would you do something like
This
that?
is why I think
Wasn't
this is
resisting you in the-
super weird. Because it
Wait.
looks like a Keeper possession.
I don't understand. I don't understand, but my gut's telling me something.
That or the artifact guy has taken control of these guys and was hunting them, but we'll
Why
have to
would
wait
you
and
do
see.
something like that?
Because I'm sure the artifact guy is closely linked to the Keepers, and that's why obviously these guys kind of look the same.
Are you trying to kill me? Guess you don't feel like talking. But if that's what you want, I'll do you.
Kind of like puppets, which is ironic. Definitely makes these things a little more interesting when you have encounters like this that you just can't add up. You've got lots of little details, like you know this is an Order of Blade Rights, you know it has something to do with the Keepers / the puppet guy, so you know that they've got all that stuff tied together. It's just a matter of how and where. Staircase. It's like I start with that card every turn.
Demonstrate power.
See, they even talk funny. Definitely interesting.
I live by the sword.
No, you die by my blazing breath. That's exactly what you do, mate. You don't live. Yeah, that's it. You didn't even get to attack. That's how weak you were. And of course, Cinderella. Kind of an annoying card, especially on 3. Don't really have anything big to play. Really lacking ramp, which is going to be the detriment to this right now. If I can't get a decent ramp going, I'm going to be in trouble.
I live by the sword.
Alright. Probably the wrong play, but I'm going for the staircase. I was tempted to go for Dragoon Scyther, but I'm just thinking maybe I can get away with this. If not, we might just have to start this one over. Wouldn't be the worst case. So we can actually take out 2 of these. if I use the Dragon Cipher, which I think is the better way to go here. We'll get rid of the Cinderella before it can be a threat. If there are a few allied followers and enemy followers, summon Holy Knight, the end of your opponent's turn, summon a Heavenly Knight. Yeah, I was like, why did that trigger? That's right. Yeah, so I don't think I'm coming back from this unless I somehow have magic on my side, because I just didn't draw a good starting hand. And sometimes this happens. This is what you got to deal with when you're playing these decks. Yeah, so even if I heal 3 here, it's not really going to help me. Double staircase play was definitely the wrong one. Not that it would have made a big difference either way. Because they've got, like, well and truly more damage than they need here. Which is a little disappointing, because it means I do have to start this battle again, but such is life. No matter how good your deck or how good a player, sometimes you'll lose. That's just the way things go. Come on. Alright, let's try again. If I started with a decent ramp play, I probably would have been fine. Alright, and we're going first. Okay.
Out of the way.
This one I don't mind as much. It's not as good as getting a 2-drop play, but it's definitely not bad. Alright, no turn 1 play. If there's no turn 1 play from this guy, that's fine. Turn 2 play. Nope, no turn 2 play. At least Dragonite should be strong enough to kind of push us through a bit. So this guy is not really too big a threat to me right now.
Until tomorrow, I'll dance.
At least not on his own he wasn't, so that's why I'm not too concerned. Alright, we're gonna get rid of him, just because I kinda don't like him. We're gonna leave that. It's not how I wanted to play this entirely, but it's gonna have to do. God, legendary fighters. See, this guy's now starting off with a really good hand. At least turn 6, Breath of the Salamander is going to be fairly effective. This will let us remove everything without really any issue. Now we can start fresh and we don't need to worry about their board. And we're already at 7, so next turn at 8 is going to be alright. Especially with Sybil. Yeah, alright, we wipe this. Let's go. Sybil, Blaze. And we're set for a Bahamut on 10 if we need it.
A dance to make color yourself. Thanks. This was fun.
And we recovered 3, which is a huge advantage to have right now. Alright, Tycoon, just so they can kill this Sybil. Don't like that card. Super annoying. Princess Tina. Disappear. We've still got the Lucifer play, which is pretty big. And that looks to be the play I'll probably go for. Just because I can deal some massive damage. I mean, we're going to get 4 off the proc. We got the 9 from that, so it's a nice 13 turn. We've got a 2 damage burst to follow immediately up with next turn. And that's only provided they wipe our board out. Alright, that's fine. They can't really trade because it's not going to be good either way, so I mean, we win regardless, but that's fine. So you just needed us to have at least a reasonable hand. Our last hand was just absolute garbage. It's probably one of the worst hands you can have with this deck. Basically bricking all the way through, which is disappointing.
That should be enough for you.
No, there's not. They're duplicated. See, this is what's weird. They duplicate.
There are others? So more people were involved in his carnage. I've heard that the Order of Blade Rights is an order of justice, one that honors the good. Am I mistaken? This feels all wrong. They don't argue and they don't even respond. Damn it! I misjudged this one. I should have anticipated reinforcements when I acted. I have to use it. The wounds from the battle against Nicola Adele haven't healed yet. But if I go easy on me, I'll give it everything I've got. That's all there is to do. Don't force yourself to hold it in. Instead, control your power through reason. If I'm ever going to test this power, it should be now. I decided not to be afraid, but this is still terrifying. Now you'd better get ready.
Yeah, don't wuss out, Rowan. Come on. We've only got 3 to go. There we go. Oh, they're duplicating again.
This is about all I can take. I need to call on the dragon. Your body's transforming, and your mind's clouding over. Don't be afraid. Use it. I said I'd do this for my family. Ah! Ah! My head's so muddled. I can't hold it. I can't do it. I'm so pathetic. I want to...
Oh, come on, Rowan.
For your own sake, go on living, Rowan. That's what I need to ask you.
Is that so hard, Rowan? Just live, man.
Rachel, I can't. I just can't. This is wrong. I was wrong. Those two weren't using their power for anyone else, just themselves. That means I have to do the same. It's not about using it for others. That wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't. I didn't know what you meant then. I turned my back to you without saying a word. But it's too late now. I understand your words. I understand how kind you were.
That was too easy.
For someone else, to act how others expect. That's a weak motive, a brittle motive. If I don't choose a path of my own, I'll break someday. That's what you said to me. You said I should live for myself, that I should get stronger. This isn't for my family. It's not for everyone else. It's for me.
Finally.
I'll use my own power for my own ends. This one's to protect the way I live. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Thank God for that.
Be gone.
Now I just need a decent hand to go with it. Not great.
Demonstrate power.
No, we've got plenty of removal, which is fine, but that's really only going to buy us time and not really push us through where we want to be, which is a little disappointing. It'd definitely be better if I got less removal and more playable cards, but really don't have an option at this point. All I can do is kill each thing they play for a couple of turns just to kind of get us there, which is fine. I mean, I can settle for that, but there's not really much else. I just hope there's not a big play next turn, because I'd really like to play Draconic Farewell so I can go to Sakwa into Isra and buy some time. Though even if it is a semi-big play, I guess that's fine. Okay, not so good. Do I really have a choice though? Not really. I suppose this will negate the damage, so I guess I'll accept it. At least this gets us to the Sakwa play. God, what's this thing? Soar can be targeted by enemy spell or effect. Your opponent can only target this follower. Can't be destroyed by spells and effects. That's fine. Okay, I'll accept it. What I don't accept though is losing this game.
Fighting is so cruel.
Alright, we're gonna wipe this.
Fighting is so sorrowful.
Be gone.
Destroy our down you go. Mustn't.
There we go.
Wait, me? The order will remain.
Perfect. Alright. They haven't got many cards left, which is good for us. Sky Gladiator. Nice. That's the new card. I'm glad to see it.
Ain't no pants on that geek, beat me.
Such pain.
Alright, get rid of that. And we'll just set this up.
Keep relying on you, dragon.
Alright, we should be well and truly ahead at this point now. There shouldn't really be any way for them to come back on their own. Which is great. Well, I do now need to deal with this, which is a little disappointing because it's not what I wanted to do. But I guess it'll do. Come on. Not what I wanted. Yeah, that's not giving us much either. Alright. Let's do this. Alright, with one card left, plenty of cards for us to use, there's really nothing left for them now. Come on. All they're doing is biding their time, hoping they can get something. They're even out of Evo now, so why not? That's going to take out half my health though, which I can't afford, so let's not deal with it. Let's just remove it comfortably. While Israel will only be left with 4 health, that's a respectable number to have right now, considering they're top decking. And we can guarantee lethal next turn if they don't draw into a killable. That's kind of annoying. It's not what I wanted to deal with, but it'll do.
Is this the end?
I suppose I could have actually just sent the Genesis into that, then just hit face and got a lot more damage, but meh. At this point, I don't think it matters. I mean, they're basically the top deck way to deal with 2 massive followers, or massive cards in general. And I couldn't see that happening in any time soon.
This power.
Yay! Plenty of gold for us to spend later on. We're actually going to finish this video off opening a heap of packs, so if you guys did stick around to the end, you're at least going to get something really cool to look at, as I've been stockpiling a few packs for a little bit, so it's not bad. Yay, Dragon Rowan. I'm trying to work out if he has a bromance with Urius and Nicola Adele now, just because of that. Sweet. You really can't go wrong with that image.
The power's flowing through me, but my head's sharp and my mind is clear.
And now he's back to normal.
Rachel, you gave me guidance. I didn't understand, but the whole time you were. Thank you. I can fight alongside the others now, shoulder to shoulder, with no.
Thank God.
No,
Isabel.
that's not right at all. There's something else I have to do besides apologize. Isabel, the crime I committed is serious. So serious that I hesitate to think about it. That's why I'm going to show you this power before anyone else. That has to be the first step. Can I walk the path of forgiveness? Can I walk down the endless road of atonement? But it's better than not walking down that path at all. I'm going to the Magus Covenant. I'm sure she'll be there.
Yay! Small round of applause for Dragon Daddy, going pretty hard in the current storyline. Sweet, we're actually going to get the nice reward for this one. Although it does mean more battles, which means this video is going to get longer and longer as we go, because the last ones are always quite long.
I'm only a part of the way there, but you won't forgive me. And forgiveness is nothing that I'm asking for, but I'm going to walk that road anyway.
Okay, basically what we just talked about.
Should be around here.
Hey!
Create such complicated formulae, you can sure sound simple.
In the dream world, I was ready to die. But this time is different.
For someone who creates such simplistic formulae, you certainly get deep inside your own head.
Those two. They're so perfect for each other.
Do you know him?
Like, I mean, the 2 mages, they're great.
Go ahead. I'll be back in the laboratory. Isabel interests me. Her enemy is accordingly my enemy. Don't attempt anything, or I will squash you.
You got here in one piece too, I see.
Yeah. I heard that you were in the Mages Guild and came here.
Do you still want me to kill you?
No, this isn't for her. It's for me. Fill me, power. Fill me, curse. I needed you to see this. I finally understand now. Understand the potential of commanding and controlling the Black Dragon's power.
That's your way of taking responsibility, isn't it, Rowan?
There's no simple way to do that. I'm satisfied with having taken the first step.
But there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that you won't go on the rampage again.
Yes, you're right about that.
Make me believe you, Rowan. Show me your power.
Her eyes seem so sad. I wonder how much of me they can really see. All right, I'll use this power. Not to die, but to live.
Poor Kyle. You know, Rowan killed Kyle. Kyle was Isabel's lover, and I want Kyle to come back. Hashtag Cygames, bring Kyle back.
I fight to live.
Make me believe you.
Alright, Bahamut, that's fine. We've got a little bit of ramp, which is good. And we drew another breath, which I don't like much. Canyon of Dragons I haven't had a chance to use yet, mainly because we're already well ahead by the time we can use it in these matchups, but hopefully we'll get a decent chance, and more ramp is always good. I'm a little worried that Rune might run me over, but we'll have to wait and see in that one. You know, I'd be really interested if Cygames decided to take advantage and go, okay, if you've played this story before, they'll actually use decks that you used, because that would be super interesting. That would be a lot harder to program, I guess. Like, they'd have to have the default decks, and then they'd have to have the decks that adjust to you based on what you've already played, but it would be an impressive way to combat the whole matchup issues and stuff that people seem to have sometimes. Should have killed that first. That's fine. Because now he can take advantage of it, which, I mean, that's fine. Alrighty. Do I just drop Canyon, or do I play one of these out instead and ramp more? I think we drop Canyon, because we're not going to get a better chance to do so. Also, the game is lagging a little bit, and I'm not 100% sure why, so that's just happening. It's done this in the past as well, and I think it's just a game loading thing, where some matches will just be a little dodgy with the animations, and honestly, I wish I had a better clue on why it does it, but I just don't. Because we're not overloading anything at all, so it's just kind of odd. We'll breath this board just so I can remove it, because I think that's reasonable at least. And we can play our Dragon Summoner out. There we go.
It won't be long now.
Alright, this guy's, you know, they're pushing these out right now. We'll draw some cards. What do we got? That's alright, that's okay, we'll take it. Alright, we're gonna summon a dragon. We've got our Israfil, which is gonna come in handy. Now I just need to remove this in the most effective way possible.
Fighting is so cruel.
It might not be the most effective way possible, but it's a effective way possible. There we go. This game should be over in hopefully the next play. Like I said, I just have no clue why it does this. It might also be a factor of the recording getting bigger and bigger to the point where it's just like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that anymore, but yeah, that's just one possibility. I mean, we got plenty of stuff like memory and stuff available. It's just being silly at this point.
Fighting is so cruel.
Alright, remove this. We'll go for another draw. Hopefully we can draw into what we want, but we'll see. Scythe is okay. Now, Ward's not a big deal. Despondent, that's a little bit more annoying. Admittedly, like, that's a little more. And that should be lethal. Yep. Lucifer, Evo, Lucifer kills the ward, we attack face, that'll give us 10 damage.
Once I am the Lord, and these wings
There we go. That little bit of Lucifer each, always helping us out.
I can't lose this one.
Unless we get the Dragon Rowan emblem too.
This is all I can My body's in agony, and I'm dying for water. I'm sorry. I'm still learning. But I'll...
Go, Rowan. I understand now.
Sorry, Isabel. I'll get stronger than this. Strong enough to stop the pain and the sadness from beating me. Right.
No matter what happens to you, the facts won't change. The past won't change. Remember that.
I will remember. For Kyle, for you, and for myself. No matter what. I don't feel any better. If anything, I can feel the violence pulsing within. This is only the beginning. I have to press forward. Who are you?
Answer this. Which side are you on?
The side that isn't your side, I think.
Is it the true moon or the false sun? It's time to make your choice.
Can I pick the eclipse? Let's pick the eclipse. I think that's where we want to be. Rowan, pick the eclipse. Come on. Alright, so I think we have 11, and then I think 12 is always just a talking chapter, so we don't have too much left.
Who are you?
It has taken a little longer than I was hoping it would. I was hoping it'd be around an hour, but I guess they do usually take a little longer than that. Nothing too exciting. It's honestly just this guy spewing bullcrap about Folsom Sun.
Organization you are. You're dangerous people, ones who kill for a living.
That is false.
No, it's kinda true.
I'm an outsider in this world, and I might not be making the right decision. But if there's one thing I understand, it's that you're pointing your blade right at me. I might choose whether I'm your enemy or I'm your ally, but I'm not going to be forced to choose. When the time comes, I'll make that decision of my own accord. Are you going to stand down, Counter Solari?
Enough of your words. Powers that oppose us shall be eliminated.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb. I mean, the guy literally attacks you when he's like, I'll just make a decision later. Could have avoided a pointless conflict. I mean, sure, they want to wipe him out because they deem him a threat, but geez, like, what's the point on attacking him now and making him on guard? They could catch him off guard later on when he's not sure who he wants to join. That would have been a much smarter idea. Although, I've definitely got to commend Cygames. I mean, the initial lot of story, for anyone who's played it, of course, knows, it's pretty garbage. At least, it's more so that it's just poorly structured and poorly executed. I think the storyline itself wasn't bad, it just wasn't done very well. Whereas the Guild Wars storyline so far has been quite engaging and quite enjoyable, at least for me personally. And a lot of people that I know were turned off by the initial story and actually haven't even got into the Guild Wars story outside of maybe doing it for the rewards and skipping over all the actual story parts, which is a little disappointing because it's actually quite interesting. Asunia makes for a really nice world. It can give itself quite a bit of structure, so... yeah, I'm disappointed I don't have a turn 4 play, but that's fine. Insight, okay, so it's Shadow Rune deck. I really can't wait till we can mess around with combined decks, that'll be super interesting. Even if it's just a fun private match feature, it would be a really nice one to implement. I'm willing to take this damage for the ramp and draw. Mainly because that way I can pretty much abuse Sarkwill or Cannon and go for anything I want here. Considering their current board, I may want to play Breath of the Salamander. Or do we... God, this is actually so tempting. If I ramp, I can drop Bahamut next turn and pretty much guarantee game, although I am going to be in a tight spot because we're going to overdraw, which I really don't like doing. So the next line of play might just be to get these out and use my removal, deal a little bit of chip damage in, and buy some time maybe? I could have just played Breath, but I feel like I want to hold on to that right now, considering they do have Shadow and Rune cards, which means they could drop quite wide boards. Not sure why you'd evolve your junk and then attack. That's just some bad AI right there. We might get our Lucifer out. That'll give us 4 more damage on them. A Sarkwill can still pull Bahamut, which is fine. I may actually end up not using it. We'll just have to wait and see. But this actually gives us a potential lethal out next turn. They're most likely going to kill this, especially now they've played Rosa. Especially since actually I've just realised they're not just rune and... They're rune, portal, and something else. Shadow, is it? Or are they just rune and portal? It might just be rune and portal, sorry. Because that's right, junk puppet and stuff isn't shadow, so meh. My mind was just off thinking about other stuff. Either way, this is pretty fine. And we'll just wipe this out next turn. How much we'll wipe out? That's really the only question left. I think we just wipe it clean. That way we, again, set up lethal next turn, provided we can just play Genesis for free. Yep, that guy's sort of a problem. I mean, he's not a big problem. We can kind of just beat him down, but... 3, 4, that's not going to be enough anyway. So we'll just play a Genesis, go face. Then we'll have plenty of ways to hit them for lethal next turn. Mysterian Grimoire. Meta production. Super interesting decks when you can combine crafts together. It'll be such a fun thing you can do in private matches, and it would make some super interesting tournaments if you allowed deck mixing. But it's something that only Cygames could enable, so it's definitely something we probably won't see in a hurry. Alright, not bad.
Follow my heart to the end.
Rowan Dragon Spear. And there's his slave.
That should be enough for you. Now get out of here.
I am at a dead end. There can no longer be any retreat.
Ah, he's got to commit suicide.
My strength's not going to hold out.
No, maybe we'll have to fight again for the last one. It's been a while since I've done a story mission, since the last one. Oh, it's starting.
This is it. That was lucky.
That's right, because all their chapters are basically going to pick up with a big battle. Because they are basically going to war.
I can sense it. The same air, the same scent I've breathed in hundreds of times, but there's a war on the horizon. But that's...
Oh yeah, because that's right, he got taken over too. And duplicated, which is weird.
Maybe it's not a war, but something's happening. Something enormous.
Perhaps it is arrogant of me, but I hope that the others and I, that they and I...
And now I can answer them. There are things that I need to protect, that I have to protect. So don't underestimate me just because I'm wounded.
Alrighty. Oh, that was the end actually, 11, so that's fine. So we completed it, that's good. Rowan's story is finally over for now, and we've only got Sword, Haven, and Portal. I'm assuming they'll go in that order, just based off how they tend to do things. Most of the characters, excluding Haven and Portal, are pretty interchangeable in the story arcs on when you want to play them. But usually Haven has to come second last to Portal, mainly because Portal was added last, and he's usually the one that ties everything kind of together with the main story arc of all the characters and the all the big things that happened with the Keepers and stuff like that. And Eris always had the same sort of feel. She was always tying the characters together in the early stages before Portal was introduced, so it wouldn't surprise me if it does go Sword, Haven, and then Portal, just to really round things out. I suppose now that Eris isn't as big a feature, it could go Eris, Sword, and then Portal, but it would definitely end with Portal as its final. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that. We are going to open up a few packs to finish off this video, if you did enjoy it, just because I've got these packs here, and I thought, why don't we do that right now, since we've only got 11, so it's not going to take long to do. I have been debating on buying the new leaders or not, because I've got the rupees there to do so. I will have a video in probably the next week or so of how I actually save rupees and go through. I know a few people have always been interested in that, and I can give you a rundown on how to be basically a 90 to 99% free-to-play player, where basically all I've really bought has always been cosmetics. That's about it. Outside of cosmetics, I really don't buy packs pretty much at all, unless I had leftover crystals when I was like at 100 or 200 crystals. Then occasionally I might buy some. These are all very average cards. I haven't even seen a new one, although we probably did pull one of the gold new ones, I just didn't pay attention. There's a couple of golds. Shamu, no, nothing really interesting. Let's see what else. nothing. Most of this will just be, of course, vialed. I have every single bronze and silver, as the way I do things just gets me them, so that's pretty normal. Oh, nice. Crimson Desire animated. I don't know if I already had triple of that, although. What else? Nothing. Just some silvers. Plenty of silvers, which is nice, because they actually vial quite well. Not as well as golds, of course. Princess Tina's 3 of them. Wow. That's a whole playset in one pack. Who needs to pull cards? Definitely not good. I don't think I've seen a single new card, at least not that I paid attention for. Nope. We did get a heap of golds though, which is good. Most of those will be viable. We'll see if there was anything new here. Evil Eye Demon, that's actually one of the new cards. That's why I didn't recognize the art earlier when it popped up as a loading screen. So we did get 2 actually, sorry. Chronax, how did I miss this? This is the portal gold I'm actually super interested in, so pulling this is actually going to be really handy. Everything else though was already in it, so we've only got 1 pack. Let's hope this last pack can at least get us a legendary would be good, and preferably one that I don't have. I'm not a fan of a lot of legendaries that were added, but there are a couple like the Rune legendary that I would love to pull, as that is just such a nice card. And of course, nothing. We did get the animated card there, which is fine. It's not very heavily animated, but it's just got that little bit of subtleness to it. So, hopefully you guys did enjoy this. I've had a fair bit of fun with the storyline so far, and they make great videos. So if you did stick around right to the end, thank you very much for supporting the channel. Please hit the like button and subscribe for more content, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.